Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome to my brand new Let's Play series, Let's Play Tabletop Racing World Tour. This game is fun, man. I really enjoy it. It was one of the free games on the PlayStation Network via PS Plus this month. And I picked it up, I was like, you know what, it looks kind of cool, and I started playing it, and I fell in love with it just like that, dude. It's fun. It is, the way that I can describe it right away is it's like a poor man's Mario Kart mixed in with, like, the original Micro Machines game for the NES. That's, like, the first thing I thought of when I started playing it. It's fun, though. Like, I say poor man's Mario Kart because it has weaponry options available, but you never at any point while playing it feel like, man, this game's kind of cheap. Like, the graphics are great, like, the controls are awesome for it, everything just handles really well. And so I figured, you know what, this would be a fun little thing to play. So we'll get down to it. I've already played through a little over half of the game. So I got a pretty good understanding of how all the tracks handle, how all the cars handle. So we're going to be in good shape. You won't see a lot of substandard play out of me unless I do something really stupid, but which is always a possibility when I play racing games. You guys know me well enough to know how that works out. But as it goes, you know, we start out with the really shitty vehicles. They also pay homage to, like, some, like, pop culture references, like the Breaking's Bad fucking motorhome from Breaking Bad. It even has bullet holes in the doors. It's super rad. I unfortunately do not have enough. Money to buy it. It also says domicile on the side from the episode where Hank tried to break in there, and Jesse was in there. He's like, "You cannot come into my domicile," or whatever the actual quote was. But that's funny that they actually had it that way. And I think on the front license plate it says something. Oh, I thought it had something like meth related, but I guess that would probably be a really bad idea for something that kids were going to be getting into. You got, like, the brawler here, which is what we're going to be using in a couple of minutes after we get done using this thing, because I'm not really a fan of it, but it is a good starter vehicle. And obviously you can use the coins that you will build, you know, from like winning races and whatnot. You can use that to upgrade your vehicles and buy new ones and all that. So it's pretty cool. We'll talk about that as we get there. And then you see the star thing over there. You get X amount of stars depending on how well you perform during a race. And when I stopped playing to start up this series and kind of reset all the progress, I think I was sitting at like 120 or 130. So I was like right around halfway done with it. So there's also special events too that are specific to certain vehicles in the game, but we won't be doing those until a little bit later on in the series. I figure it'll probably be better off if we do, like, all the championship stuff first and build up a nice, you know, pot of coins before we go and do special events. So there's a whole bunch of different types of races you can do in here. You see the one that we're going to be doing right here is a combat race. This is just going to be like your standard race where there's some different weapons available. They tell you what types of pickups are allowed in there. We'll go over those while we're in the race. It's pretty sweet though, and, like, the controls, they're really nice and smooth. It never feels like you're constantly stuck in, like, driving on ice, which is a good thing. It's fun, dude. It's fun, and there's shortcuts that you can unlock. There's different versions of all of these tracks, so, like, each different track that we'll race on has, like, at least, like, 4 or 5 different variations of itself. So it's not like we're just racing on the exact same thing all the time. It's pretty cool. So you'll see this track quite a few times. Just, you know, every time we race in it after this is pretty much just going to be a longer, more complex version of it. And I think that's cool. I think it's awesome that they give you like a little demo, like a little taste of what this is going to be like over the course of everything. So you just saw me use one of my attacks. That was the mine attack. You just place a landmine on the ground, and if people hit it, then it'll slow them down. You won't actually blow the car up at any point, but you kind of get what I'm throwing down here. This thing is just going to be, as it looks on the little icon down there in the bottom right, it is a rocket. It just fires straight ahead, so you got to be really precise about the way that you're laying those down. You can see those floating coins kind of in various areas around the track. If you pick up those coins, they're worth various like dollar amounts, essentially. And so we got our prize coins there. Bonus coins you'll get from like hitting enemies with your projectile weapons and whatnot. And if you find those like hidden coins around the track, that'll go towards your bonus coins thing. I don't really know how the whole XP thing works because I've leveled up in here and I don't necessarily know what you get out of it when it happens. Well, like when you level up to 2 and then 3 and whatever. I don't know if you get like a coins bonus for that or what, but something happens. I don't really know. Okay. So we've got a little bit of coinage here, but I'm not gonna bother upgrading this thing until we get the Brawler PR. That's the one that I'll actually start using coins on to start upgrading. So we won't even worry about that. And there's also online multiplayer. I just haven't tried that yet, but I assume it's probably pretty cool. We'll get down to that. So we have 3 out of 258. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but not gonna be that bad. So this is going to be our first time trial. It's going to be pretty cool. You just, if I remember correctly, yeah. So they give you target times here. They give you a minute and a half to try to get you to put your best lap out there, and so they'll give you some like nitro power-ups that you can use to try to speed up the process a little bit. And it's all good. I love this track. I think that this is my favorite track in the whole game that I've seen so far. I love the decorations. I love the fact that it's in a sushi restaurant. Like every time I race on this track, it makes me want to go out to Sushi Kyo and go get a spider roll, or go get the Salem roll or what have you. See, there's one of those floating coins right there. I would totally try to get it right now, and maybe I will if I can knock out the special, getting the top lap available there. So you'll also notice that there's like a thing on the left side that has the X there. That won't be really applicable until later. Oh, this is the accumulative one. Okay. So there are time trial ones where you just try to get your best lap, just your best one lap out there. This is one where they add up all your laps together and you try to, get through 3 laps before the timer goes up. But yeah, dude, super awesome. I love this thing. Unfortunately, I'm not really a big fan of the soundtrack of this game. But then again, I mean, it doesn't really detract from the game much because, I mean, you think about other classic racing games like Gran Turismo 2. If you guys remember the series I did of that, I hated the soundtrack of that game. I didn't like it really at all. It was one that really wore on my patience very quickly. This is one that's kind of like that. The soundtrack for this game, not really a big fan of it. But, it's fine. It's something that, if you want, you can actually, if you're playing it, you can actually turn the in-game music off and then pipe in your own music through Spotify, and then it ends up being totally awesome that way. So this is the hot lap race. This is the one where they give you 90 seconds to put your fastest lap out there. And the Back to the 80s track is also super cool. There is just 80s paraphernalia all over the place in like this bedroom slash garage slash, attic or storage room or whatever the hell this room is. It's super cool, man. We got like the Brian thing, which is supposed to be like the Simon game. You've got those cool little like electric globe things. You've got I think that was like an 8-track player, I think is what that looked like. You got pool balls, which is kind of a timeless thing, but just so many awesome things here. You got stuff that kind of looks like Legos, fuzzy dice. Yeah, dude, it's great. There are so many awesome things to look at when you're on these tracks, no matter what level you're in. And like a lot of these things, you can actually just run into them. Like there are a lot of these things that you'll see scattered around in your track. You can interact with all of them. It's usually not smart to run into them most of the time, but sometimes you just can't help but totally, crash into things. So it's awesome. Oh, there's that reel-to-reel thing up there. It kind of reminds me of, watching old shows like Rescue 911, where in like the intro theme of the show, they'd have, they'd show that thing spinning around and they'd have somebody calling in like, oh my god, so my daughter cut her hand off in the kitchen trying to cut a pickle because I'm a terrible parent and I allowed her to do that. I allowed my children to use sharp instruments without my supervision because I'm a moron. But, I kind of really want to go get one of those coins. If I can get back around there fast enough, I'm going to totally try to grab it. So let's see what we can do. I think we'll just barely have enough time to get it. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. I gotta get that thing. Yeah, I got it. So, tight. Actually, by getting that, we're gonna have enough money to go buy the brawler now. So, yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, perfect amount. We got just enough for it. We may even have enough money to be able to upgrade it just a little bit. Cool. And this will be another combat race. I don't remember what the one with the guy with the helmet is down there. I don't remember what race that is. I think that one is actually, I remember it now. That one, if I remember correctly, it's one where it's a standard race, but there's no power-ups in it. Like, they just wanted to be a straight-up race where it's just you and your skills. And I think it's really cool that they do that. That's when I saw that race for the first time, I was like, this is really smart. That, you know, it's cool that they have, like, the weapons in-game and whatnot for you to play with, but it's also really cool that they want to, you know, they want to help you improve your skills as a racer and not be so, like, dependent on things, you know, like that to be able to get the job done for you. So we'll make this our last race of the episode, and then when we pick up next time, we'll go from there. So, yeah, dude, this is going to be a fun little series. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. And when I stopped playing, I was at a point where I was playing with, like, the top-tier cars in the game, and I'll tell you right now, they are so much faster than these. It is ridiculous how quick they are. I like this level, too. This is another one that I particularly enjoy. It's just in, like, an auto garage, and you got, like, fucking spark plugs flying around everywhere, and just all these really cool things to look at, and throwing, you know, things like air filters and antifreeze and engine oil around all over the place. And you got just like all these cool like automotive signs and things. It's great, man. So here's a new power-up you guys haven't seen yet. It is the I don't know what the actual name of it is, but I'm pretty sure it's like it's just called like the Shockwave. I don't like it because the only way that it's going to work is in very short proximity. So when you use it, it'll send out like a little EMP charge, and anybody that's within about, you know, 10 feet of you in any direction, it'll pretty much disable their car from being able to work momentarily, and that'll be the end of it. But we are absolutely raping these guys right now. It's ridiculous. Oh boy, we have become OP very quickly, but it's all good. So when I was out running errands today, I had a really weird encounter happen, and it was like completely unnecessary in the entirety of it. I think there's a coin back here. Ha ha ha! Tight. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no! Ah! Okay. Oh god, I can't tell you how many times I've had races totally derailed from stuff happening like that, where I'm on like the second to the last lap or the final lap, and I'm going to try to like hit like a shortcut or trying to get one of those coins, and I hit a wall and somebody passes me like right at the end of it, and I totally screw myself over. It's super stupid. But I was going through this parking lot. I'd gone to the DMV and I was dealing with some things. And I was just going across the parking lot. I was going to go inside the mall, and there was this lady that was in like her mid-60s that was going to be like walking across the parking lot to go into the mall. And I'm like at least like 15 feet away from her, like horizontally, and she's really slowly just walking by. And I'm approaching, just, you know, driving totally away from her. And I have my window down, listening to the radio, and she just screams at me, "You need to slow down!" Keep in mind, I'm barely going, like, over 10 miles an hour. Like, the speed limit in a parking lot is 10 miles an hour. I was probably going, like, 15 tops, and she just uncorked at the top of her lungs, "You need to slow down! You're gonna kill somebody!" And I was so close to just, like, slamming on the brakes and putting it in reverse and backing up to her and being like, "Really? I was going like 15. What the hell? I wasn't even close to you." Like, she was treating that like I almost ran her over or something. But it's like, you fucking serious? Like, I wasn't even close to you. Like, you need to, you know, take some damn Midol and go home and take your Metamucil and shove it up your ass, because you're getting a little crazy with all that. You're getting crazy out there, man. So as you can see, I was just upgrading the car a little bit. Down here on the bottom, there's the wheel shop. So there's actually like specialized weapon wheels here, which are awesome. This one here, they're used specifically for drift events only. So it's definitely not one that you want to be driving normally with, or you're going to be proverbially caught in the ice level at all times. You will be sliding everywhere. This is the one that I generally use, not only because I think they look hilarious, because they look like the spinners you get from Walmart, but you get extra bonus coins for every successful attack that you get on somebody. And so that is, I think, the single greatest thing that you can have. There's also the shield ones, which will, I think that, like, you charge it up and you can just use it as a way to, prevent getting hit by attacks. However, but that's only from like projectile weapons like the snowflake and the missiles. It won't work for acid bath and the Centurion wheels, which are these things, which I think are super tight. I think it's great, but I don't think that you really have a large advantage in using them. So I think that it's really just better overall to use the bling wheels, just because why not have a constant flow of coins coming in, and you don't have to charge it up. It's always active. So super cool. You don't get any tangible benefits as far as like it helping you win races, but I think it's great. And then there's the paint shop. They give you a couple different skins to work with here. That's the one that I love. There's nothing better than just that clean black one like that. It kind of reminds me of Dom's Charger from Fast and the Furious. That may even be what they were modeling that off of. Who knows? But I think we're going to stop right here, my friends. When we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Tabletop Racing World Tour, we are going to take on these two races here. So another hot lap one, and this one is the pure race. So no power-ups, just pure driving skill. And then we'll take on the Spark Plug Trophy Finale. So those will be some things that we'll fool around with next time. But until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys stick around for this series. It's going to be a fun little nugget. So you guys take care. I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.